Hello record collectors. Today I'm gonna join a vinyl community thread that was started by Jack at the Vinyl Voyage. Jack, he has a fantastic channel. It's like 5-star VC channel and he's from Scotland and I absolutely love everything that he shows, and he's a big inspiration when it comes to music for me. We get kind of similar taste and I always find cool stuff from Jack's channel. So be sure to go over to his channel and hit the subscribe and everything, and his link is in my description here. Well, he started a thread where he wanted to show 7 records from 7 different genres. Maybe genres that we normally don't collect. And he also wanted the last LP that we showed to be in a kind of hard to categorize LP. So I have pulled out 7 records from my collection with stuff that I normally don't collect. I mean, I normally collect psychedelic and folk rock and different type of indie music and lo-fi rock and, you know, stuff like that. If you have followed my channel, you know what kind of music I'm into. But these are genres that I normally don't collect, so it will probably be a wild ride and you will probably see some records that you didn't expect to see here. So this one is for you, Jack. Here we go. We're gonna start off with a bang or maybe a haze, and this is also a little tribute to Jack because he's from Scotland and this is a Scottish band. I'm talking about Boards of Canada with their debut album Music Has the Right to Children from 1998. They call this music IDM, Intelligent Dance Music. That's a stupid genre. Or maybe like downtempo or ambient electronic music or something. This is the UK press from 1998 in this gatefold cover, and it was released on Warp or Scam Records. This LP is highly influential on modern music these days. They were like pioneers. They started to record like electronic ambient music, but they recorded it on tape, so they added a lot of like this heavy saturation or tape hiss or this wobbly effect, you know, when you can get when you speed up and speed down a tape. So it has a really like hazy atmosphere. And I don't have much of this kind of music in my collection, but I found this in a record store a long time ago for like nothing. So I snagged it and I have had it since, and I really think it's a great album. I'm gonna play you a sample of one of my favorite songs, and it's called Olson. It's a really short song, instrumental. Many of the songs were really short on this album. The next LP is in a genre that I really don't have many albums at all, and it's also a live album, and I don't really have many albums, so it's a double feature here. And it is Jerry Lee Lewis live at the Star Club Hamburg. This one came out in 1964, and we all know Jerry Lee Lewis. He was this like rock and roll legend, piano guy. I have the German press, released on Philips Mini Groove label. This one came out in 1964, and to be honest, in 1964 this type of rock and roll was totally dead. Everyone was listening to Beatles or the Beat Boom or Rolling Stones or these new type of bands that were like totally exploding. So no one really listened to Jerry Lee Lewis or Chuck Berry or those like old farts. I mean, just like 5-6 years earlier, this type of music was really hot. But in 1964, this was considered to be like old-fashioned. But Jerry Lee Lewis, he didn't give up so easily. So they were gonna record him live at this legendary Star Club in Hamburg, you know, where Beatles used to play. And he booked the Nashville Teens, the UK band, you can see them there, to back him up. So they got this like beat band backing, and Jerry Lee Lewis completely destroyed the stage. This is the most wild, aggressive, raw and like punk concert recorded back in 1964. It's totally wild. It's like they are playing on speed or something. You can like feel the energy in the audience and on the stage, and he was totally ripping it. It's one of the wildest live gigs ever recorded, I would say. I mean, it's a bit like early punk, but it's rock and roll, and it's the sweatiest, speediest kind of rock and roll you can imagine. Yeah, so I normally don't collect rock and roll, but I think this is kind of an essential recording, and it's a really, really good LP. I'm gonna play a little sample here of High School Confidential, and I mean that song is, they start off in like maximum speed and they just speed. He speeds so much that the band can't keep up with him, and it's like going totally wild. This is raw rock and roll energy.
Yeah. You better open up, honey, get your lover boy, me that's knocking. You better listen to me, sugar roller, cat the red, the high school rockin'. Honey, get your bobbin shoes, for the jukebox to blow the fuse. Got everybody hopping, everybody bopping, bopping up a high school house. Oh, bopping up a high school house, shaking up a high school house. I've been rolling up a high school house. I've been moving up a high school house. Well, everybody's hopping, man, I'm bopping, just a bopping, and I'm bopping up a high school house. Come on, little baby, I'm gonna rock a little bit tonight. Oh, I gotta get the window shook, I'm gonna shake things up tonight. They got my heart beating rhythm, got my feet moving smooth and alive.
From rock and roll to another genre that I don't have many albums in, and I'm talking about jazz rock. I'm not a big fan of jazz rock. I think it's just not for me. I know many people love jazz rock, and that's totally fine, but it's really not for me. But I have a few jazz rock LPs in my collection that I really love, and one of them is Manfred Mann Chapter 3, their debut album that came out on the famous Vertigo label in the UK. Of course, it came with a Swirl inner, and this is a UK first press. This is Manfred Mann when they like turned away from the pop music that they had done in the 60s and went more towards this like jazz rock, progressive rock, I would say. I mean, jazz rock to me is pretty boring because I miss the kind of songwriting part of this. But this is a kind of a dark and groovy and trippy LP filled with like fussed out keyboards and really cool brass arrangement, and it has this kind of murky psychedelic vibe to it that I really dig. So it's the trippiness of this album that I really like. And it's also nice to have another Vertigo Swirl in my collection. Manfred Mann Chapter 3.
Give me a window to shield me, where I can't be seen, I don't wanna be free.
Another genre that I don't have many records in. Actually, I just have one record in this kind of big, really big genre, and it's hip hop. Okay, now to another genre that I don't collect and I don't have many albums of them, but it's a genre where you can find records in thrift stores for next to nothing, and I'm talking about classical music. And here I have a really beautiful piano album by the Swedish composer Wilhelm Peterson-Berger, and it's performed by a Swedish pianist called Stig. And this LP came out in 1972, and he's playing some of Wilhelm Peterson-Berger's most famous piano music. Sweden, we don't have many big composers. I mean, if we look at our neighbors, Norway, they had Grieg, and if we look at Finland, they had Sibelius, like two really big names. But in Sweden, we didn't really come up with any good... I mean, we had some good composers, but not in the same league as they are. But Wilhelm Peterson-Berger is one of the better Swedish ones, and he's a national romantic composer. These are composed in 1896 and 1914, so he was active during those like national romantic period. And this is really beautiful music, inspired by the Swedish nature and the landscape. It's perfect music if you just want to put on something to dream away and think of simpler times maybe. And this has a really beautiful album cover. This is a painting by a Swedish artist called Helmer Oslund, who was also this national romantic. Did fantastic paintings of the Nordic landscape, and you can see this beautiful, beautiful painting. So this is how it looks like in Sweden during the fall, I would say. And this one is released on His Master's Voice, like this label, from 1972. I don't have much piano music or classical piano music, but I do like some of it, and this is an LP that I have. Another genre that I don't collect or don't have many albums is, let's see what we should call this, kind of surf punk or surf rock or space age punk rock. I'm not really sure what to call it, but it's Mann or Astro-Man. This is an EP from 1996 called Deluxe Men in Space, and here they are. And I don't collect Mann. This is the only record I have by Mann or Astro-Man, but I really like this, and especially I like the song Uranus, song number 2, the Uranus. I mean Uranus, that's really funny, I know. And the labels, they look like this, kind of. Almost all of their covers were like this space age surf rock vibe to it, like with these old 50s, 60s images of space and science fiction. This is something that I don't collect, but I mean, I just love the band name, Mann or Astro-Man. What could possibly go wrong with a band name like this? It came from America, I think. I'm not sure where, but it's a cool band and it's a cool EP, and it's not a genre that I have many records in. Jack asked us to show an album that are hard to define what kind of genre it is, hard to categorize. And I have an LP that is really hard to categorize. But it's It's like in a genre, if you can say genre, that I really like, and I really love this band. And it's Stereolab with their Emperor Tomato Ketchup from 1996. And this is really hard to categorize. Is it like krautrock? Is it lounge pop? Is it like French avant-garde space pop? Is it like indie pop? Vintage electronic music? It's space jazz? Hard to describe what kind of music it is, because it's so much. And that's one of the best things with Stereolab, that they did so much different type of music. You can have this really classic indie rock music to this French pop or space age music or electronic music. Or they were really a great and creative band, and a lot of the stuff that they did in the 90s is really fantastic. And this is also the latest album I bought. I bought this yesterday, so I haven't even showed it in a recent vinyl find or anything. But this is the UK first press. It was released on this, let's see what disco says, yellow translucent vinyl with silver glitter. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of colored vinyl. I think it's just a stupid gimmick. I want my records to be black, but this is how it came in 1996, and it's a really good album that I wanted, so I have to live with some stupid color on my vinyl. But this is a really great album, one of the best Stereolab LPs. They did a lot of great singles and EPs in the early 90s that I'm hunting for, but they're kind of hard to find, and some of them are quite pricey. So yeah, that's the last one, Stereolab, Emperor Tomato Ketchup from 1996. Stereolab. Hard to categorize, but a fantastic LP. So, Jack, I hope you liked this video. I have pulled out like 7 records with genres that I normally don't collect, except for that Stereolab. Like rock and roll, space punk, classical piano music, hip hop, my god. Yeah, what else did I show? Jazz rock, oh my god, jazz rock. I'm not a jazz rock guy. So until next time, take care everybody, and be sure to go out and buy a record in a totally different genre that you're used to, and put it on and broaden your horizon. Peace out everybody.